very slow and painful death. So it will, in 100% of cases, wipe them out, especially if you let it run rampant. But obviously there's community groups all across the country trying to do their best, but it's not enough. It's a biosecurity issue. Oh, look, at the end of the day, mange affects most mammals within Australia, and it also affects the agricultural industry. Like, it affects cows, it affects horses, it affects the farm dog, your family dog. Try and fit a bigger one there. We basically put this in the entry to their burrow. We make sure they can't get out either side. We put a sticker on here to warn the public that this is wombat medication and not to touch. We then put the medication in this lid, which is just either a Vegemite lid or a peanut butter lid. As I said, you can use other things like medicine lids from medicine things for kids. We just put the meds into there, and what happens is the wombat either comes out or in. It'll start on the back of their neck and go all the way down their back. And we do this once a week where we top up the medication. So once a week they get their 20 mils of medication so that they start to feel better. The reason why we do the flap system is because it's quite contagious. So if you have one sick wombat in a population, then they can spread it to the other wombats in the colony, particularly in areas where wombats are living on top of each other in high numbers. Obviously it spreads quicker through these communities. So with the flaps, we put a flap on every single burrow within a 1 kilometre radius of the sick wombats. And that way we can treat the whole population and yeah. And I guess the biggest issues with this situation is that as the environment gets worse, it affects people more, and as it affects more people, the more they don't want to help us, because everyone becomes a little bit selfish, I guess, during environmental events where they need to, look after their house or their kids or their family. And rightly so, I guess, like, on the wombat side of things, well, how many times can you be displaced? How many times can you be cold? How many times can you have mange and have malnutrition and everything else before it takes you out? I think that's a wombat there. There's okay. See there? See the legs? The stripes on the legs? That's Hope. So Hope uses this burrow, but they have multiple burrows. That's a kangaroo. Originally, I thought we were making a difference. Now I feel like we're just on a merry-go-round. But you can't stop. I mean, you can't just let something die a very slow and painful death and do nothing. It's like everybody just needs to start realising they keep saying it's a welfare issue. It's a conservation issue. It's a scientific conservation issue that needs assistance. So we've got two choices here. We either keep doing what we're doing and essentially drive ourselves into the ground because we're all doing this for free, or we stop and then it's like, well, they die. Neither is the best answer.